Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be previewing this coming Friday's meeting here from Fanny Bay, which will be the 31st of March. After only a 4-race card a week ago, we are back to 5 races this Friday, although the 0 to 76 1200 metres was deleted at weights due to insufficient entries. However, the 0 to 64 1600 was divided, and a 6 and a 7 horse field is the result. The first race gets underway at the mid-afternoon time of 3:07 p.m, while the last of the handful is scheduled to jump at 5:20 p.m. In the first, the Silks Darwin 4:21 Happy Hour Handicap. Be a decent crowd in Silks, no doubt, on Friday afternoon, certainly at 4:21. A 0 to 58 1300 metre event is the opener, and my numbers are 1, 4 and 2. Going here with the top weight, number 1 Global Wonder from the stable of Gary Clark and Jared Todd in the saddle. Been a little disappointing, this horse of late, but I thought his last start effort for 4th behind from the Never Never was a better pointer to his chances here. That was a 0 to 70 event. This is a 0 to 58, so he's back a couple of grades, and I think he only has to put in his best performance, and it'll be hard to beat here. The big drop in grade, the key for him. So I've got him on top number 1. To beat number 4, Ye Heller, a last start winner from the stable of Tommy Logan, but this week as in a new stable, that of Phil Cole. The horse went to the online auction the other day, was bought by clients of the Phil Cole stable, might have been Coley himself, and is now in his stable. So Wayne Davis takes the mount, a last start winner, can't do better than that, and I've got it in to run second. And in for third, number 2, I'm a Dreamer, Jade Hampson for Tayan Halter. Good run last start over this trip behind Ye Heller, finished second on that occasion and should race well again. So in the first, my numbers are 1, 4 and 2. The second, the Silks 2,500 Mega Raffle. It's on the 26th of April, the Mega Raffle. I think they had one just recently, but there's another one in a month's time. This is the 1,200 metre handicap for the benchmark 54 gallopers. My numbers here are 1, 3 and 2. Looks one of the better bets of the day, doesn't he? Number 1, Archie James, trained by Chris Nash, and Sonia Wiseman takes them out. Sonia's only had 2 rides on the horse for 2 wins, so looking to keep that unbeaten record aboard Archie James intact. His last start effort was really good behind From the Never Never and Vunavalu, so 2 pretty smart sprinting horses beat him home. That was in 0 to 70, drops all the way back to the benchmark 54. Got a bit of weight to carry, 62 kilograms, but he's going really well, this horse, and I've got him clearly on top. Ahead of number 3, Raffelli from the stable of Tayan Halter, and Paul Shires again takes the mount. Has finished second at his last 2 outings, Raffelli, behind Hinestrosa and Turnstar. Going up in trip, I think, might help this horse. His last start effort was 1,100 metres. He's up to the 1,200, and the way he gets home over the concluding stages, that should help. And in for third, number 2, Patria, from the stable of Gary Clark, Jared Todd aboard, getting on in years now, Patria, but in this grade of race, he has to be considered. In the second, my numbers are 1, 3 and 2. We go to the third, the Anzac Day racing, of course, on the 25th of April, as it is every year. This is the Trobus handicap over the 1,000 metres for the Class 2 gallopers, and my numbers here are 1, 3 and 4. He created a big impression when having his first start in Darwin. Did number 1, Doc O'Connor from the Gary Clark stable, Jared Todd aboard. Jared didn't ride last start. Sophie Wilcock rode. That was one of the National Apprentice Series races. Went straight to the front over the 1,100 metres, and although tiring a little towards the post, was still too good for them, and looked really smart in doing his business there. Drops in trip to the 1,000. I think that'll suit even better. He's actually had a trial since he last started. That was, or the last start was the 4th of March. So he's had a run in between times to keep him up to the mark, and he looks very hard to beat again. Number 1, ahead of 3, 1 for Anna from the stable of Chris Nash. Chris has 2 engaged here, both 3 and 4 Air Command. But 1 for Anna, just forget she went round last start. Not much went right for her in one of those apprentice races. Sonia Wiseman goes back aboard here, and I can see her improving quickly. She's pretty speedy as well. And the stablemate, number 4, Air Command, I've got in to run third. Paul Shires aboard for Chris, and he was good the other day on resumption after a spell. He finished third behind Turnstar. Dropping back in trip, I think, will help him too. He's pretty speedy. So there'll be plenty of pace on here. Doc O'Connor's drawn 5, so he's going to have to jump and get going, because those inside him will certainly make him do a bit of work. Numbers in the third, 1, 3 and 4. The fourth's the Ladbroke Handicap. This is the first division of the 64 1600 metres. We, as I mentioned earlier, we divided the 64 mile, so the last two races both over that trip and for that grade. Numbers here, 2, 1 and 5. Last start winner number 2, Looking For You. He bolted in here the other day in the hands of Wayne Davis. Vanessa Arnott goes aboard this week, drawn the 1 gate. Has a liking for the distance. 7 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds. If he's left alone and gets his own rules, he's always hard to beat, and the 1 gate suits him. 2 on top. To beat the stablemate Brother Bassie, Phil Cole, of course, trains. Paul Shires aboard. Last start 3rd behind Siakam. That was in the St Pat's Cup. So this is a good deal easier for Brother Bassie. And if he gets a good run in transit, he could be the one finishing strongly over the concluding stages. And in for 3rd, number 5, Skellig Island, Gary Clark and Jared Todd, the combo. He was 6th in the St Pat's Cup behind Siakam. Never had a rider last week, so missed a run. He's going to go around this week. He's always a chance in a race of this nature. Numbers in the 4th, 2, 1 and 5. And our last, the second division of the 64 mile, this is the Darwin Racing Handicap for the 0 to 64 gallopers. Numbers here 3, 1 and 2. Karaoke Express been getting closer to a win. Its last couple of runs have been good. Good second here the other day behind Looking For You. Jade Hampson aboard. Jade claims the kilo here down to her minimum of 54. And Tayan Holter, of course, trains. I thought it could get a deserved win. Number 3 ahead of 1, Sweet Chevelle. Disappointed in the St Pat's Cup, but it's a good deal better than that for, of course, Joe Banks. Sonia Wiseman takes the mount. Jade Hampson was aboard last time. And then for 3rd, number 2, Captain Hedderwick. He's finding hard to catch, but his run the other day behind Looking For You was better. He got way out of his ground early, finished on strongly. Jared Todd aboard for Gary Clark. Numbers in the last 3, 1 and 2. Best bet of the day, race 2, number 1, Archie James. It just looks a race made for him. Doesn't look a strong lot the way he went the other day in a higher grade. Point to his very undeniable chances here. So race 2, number 1, Archie James. Well, the best roughies in race 4, number 3, Urally Did It. Race 4, number 3, Urally Did It. Didn't mind its run the other day behind Zuzu Kakanakis. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. And we now have a fortnight until the next meeting at headquarters, which will be held on Friday, the 14th of April. There are only 2 top end meetings in the month of April. The other, of course, the Anzac Day fixture on the 25th, which is a Tuesday this year. And until next time, good luck and good punting.